In this video, I aim to show you the new 1000 blocks that have been added into RealismCraft 2.0, as well as the new mobs, new items, and new armors and weapons that are also included in the 2.0 update. If you want to see the new transport methods, the new structures and sentinel boss, or the new end dimension update, then go and check out my other videos that would have been posted at the same time as this. Or if you want to wait and see it all in one mega long video, then about an hour after this video is posted, I will post the mega long video showing absolutely everything in one video. For anyone who isn't aware, RealismCraft is a complete reimagining of what Minecraft looks like, and has made massive changes to textures, animations, world generation, sound, and the overall atmosphere of the game. There have been many updates to the game with overhauls of new biomes, a new nether, and new beautiful visual effects. This now with Realism 2.0 is the largest update ever, and it's designed to seamlessly blend stunning visual enhancements with rich, expanded gameplay to completely reimagine how you experience Minecraft as a whole. With RealismCraft 2.0, when you start a brand new world, Spark Universe hope that you are going to experience a visually stunning version of Minecraft that has been built to immerse you fully in the world and fuel your lust for adventure. Change is truly on the cards, with every biome being overhauled, every mob behaving or moving more realistically, and the world being full of new structures, items, and mobs to discover. Every new addition that has been added to RealismCraft 2.0 has been carefully designed to be integrated into Minecraft's progression and to be a meaningful addition to the gameplay. This altogether results in a version of Minecraft that is hopefully more expansive, alive, and visually stunning, while also staying faithful to the Minecraft game's core charm. So I've spawned into a brand new creative world, and before we begin this video, I just want to say a massive thank you to Spark Universe for giving me early access to the RealismCraft 2.0 update. This is not a sponsored video, and I want to stress that, but I am a massive fan of RealismCraft in general, and to be given the opportunity to get early access is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much to Spark Universe. I just want to let you know that I'm not going to be showing any of the end specific blocks in this video, really, maybe a couple, but not specifically showcasing them. I'm going to wait for the end overhaul video, which will release at the same time as this video. So if you want to see the end blocks, go and check out that video, link down in the description. But I will be showing off the ore, the viridium from the end in this video. So stay tuned and check that out. Now, with the new update of RealismCraft comes about 1000, maybe even more new blocks, and you guys know me, I enjoy punishing myself, so I've tried to place down as many of them as possible, and hopefully I've got all of them. If I haven't got all of them, well, I've got most of them. And what has happened here, we'll start with a few of the singular blocks, and we'll start from this side here first. So we get given, where should we start from? Let's start from here first of all. We get given a new waxed copper pillar, and we've got unwaxed variants as well. We've got the exposed copper pillar, we've got the weathered copper pillar, and we've got the oxidized copper pillar here. I've obviously just used waxed because I don't want them to change. We've also then got iron pillars, we've got cut iron, and we've got chiseled iron, and then we've also got gold pillars, cut gold, and chiseled gold. And then lastly, we've got netherite pillars, cut netherite, and chiseled netherite as well. Now, while that doesn't seem like a lot to begin with, let me tell you, this definitely picks up from here, because there are a ton, and I mean a metric ton, of brand new block families and additions to block families. So we're going to go through and just see. Now, a lot of this is the same blocks with different textures, so I don't want to get your hopes up too much for 1000 completely unique blocks, but with all of the textures, the variations, there is a massive range of blocks here. So we'll start on this side. In fact, let's get rid of all of this and clear up our inventory a little bit. We'll start here, and we've got introduced limestone slabs. In this case, polished limestone slabs, limestone brick slabs, and limestone tile slabs to go with this extension of a limestone family. We've got bricks, we've got pillar blocks, we've got tiles, limestone in general is polished, and we've got chiseled limestone. And then what everybody is practically excited about, to be honest with you, is the vertical slabs. But they haven't just added vertical slabs, there's also steps. So we've got these here, which are polished limestone vertical slabs. We've got one for the bricks, we've got one for the tiles, and we've got one for limestone in general. And then we've got the smaller block, which is the step block. And we've also got that in tiles, we've got that in bricks, and we've got that as a polished variant too. And it should be said that usually where there is one vertical slab, there is also a corresponding step for that as well. And you'll see that as we go through. Now, a few functionality things of this, as you can see, I've placed them down. So you can place it like so, you can place it like so as well, and you'll get a change. Or you can place it here on the outside too, and then place one here, and you get the little corner piece as well, which I thought was really, really cool. We can see what happens if you do a little ring. Not much, but then if we place into here, so similar to how steps change, we've got it here for a singular step as well. And you get a nice little pattern that goes on here too. I thought that was quite cool and allows some changes and some additions to your build. And then also the same thing happens here for the vertical slab. So if you place that there, you can then get that little corner piece too. And we can have a little toy around here as well. So if we place that down and then we try to place one here, it immediately goes half. So you're not going to be able to place it right here unless maybe crouch and place. No, it just automatically goes through. So you can't go side and side like that. That's not going to happen. Now, if I want to place it on this side, so from here, it places on the far side. If we go over here and we place it down, there we go. It will always place on the far side from where you are as well. And you can't double up. So it won't place it down like you would do with a half slab and make a full block. It just defaults to the double side, unless maybe if I go from this side and I place here, no. So it won't let me place that there. You can't place it into there to make a full block. So if you want a full block, you have to use a full block. We'll go half and half and we get that little corner piece. If I place this here, it then gives you that side piece there. If I break that, it defaults and updates. So hopefully that's a bit of an insight into how you would use the vertical slabs and the steps. And then lastly, for limestone, we've also got the limestone slab and the limestone block on its own as well. So a nice introduction there for what kind of new variations we get and a new family. And then we've also got over here, which is called the clay bricks. Now the clay bricks also have a few variations. So there's two different vertical slab types. We've got the polished clay bricks vertical slab, and we've got the clay brick vertical slab. Same again for the step, and here as well for the polished one. And then in terms of the blocks, we've got chiseled clay bricks, polished clay bricks, and clay pillars. And what you'll see here as well, you see how many different solid blocks there are for limestone, but there's only a few solid blocks here for clay bricks. Not every family gets every block. So there is some choices that will have to be made going forward. But I mean, it's cool. I quite respect the fact that it's not copy and paste everything and it's just one and done. They've taken the time to choose that some families deserve certain blocks and some don't. We've then also got polished clay brick slabs and clay brick slabs. We've got a clay bricks block. We've got clay brick stairs, which I'm always interested to try and find out how does this work. It actually works as a stair, which is cool. Now, I don't know if that's because it's a dynamic world, but we do know that stairs have a few issues in add-ons, for instance, that we're not going to see here. So that's very cool. And then we've got the clay brick walls, which can be placed down here like a normal wall. On top of that then, as I try to catch my breath because talking is terrible for me, we've then got the dark sandstone bricks. So a new thing that has been added to RealismCraft is the dark sand in general. We get dark sand and we also get smooth dark sandstone. We get dark sandstone pillars, chiseled dark sandstone, cut dark sandstone in general, and dark sandstone bricks. I know I said a few of those words wrong. We also get dark sandstone brick slabs, smooth ones as well, dark ones in general, and cut dark ones. And then we've got the wall and step variations here too. So we've got cut, we've got sandstone in general, we've got smooth, and we've got brick versions of both. And these, like I said, have the same interactions. That works consistently. I'm not going to show you that for everything. The red sand or red sandstone also has an expansion here. So we've got red sandstone pillars along with the 4 different wall. I keep saying walls, I mean vertical slabs. The 4 different vertical slabs and 4 different steps. And then sandstone as well has its extension. So we get sandstone pillars and the 4 different wall types here too, consistent with the RealismCraft textures as well. One thing that I'm not 100% sure of, and maybe I'll check it out if I remember at the end of the video, is if we change the texture pack, will these take on the new textures of the texture pack? I don't believe they would, because the texture pack wouldn't know to take it. But if I can work it out, I'll try and put it at the end of the video. If not, ask me. We may do some follow-ups. Who knows? On top of that then, we've then got what's called the packed ice family, getting an extension, I guess. So we'll start with the blocks. We get packed ice bricks, packed ice pillar, polished packed ice, and chiseled packed ice. We then also get the packed ice bricks and polished packed ice slabs. So if you want to have an icy build, a little ice castle, you get a bit more variation there, along with the vertical slabs and the vertical steps. And then over here for this block, we actually get polished snow. So snow also getting an extension here. We've got polished snow, we've got snow bricks, we've got snow bricks in general for the blocks, we've got snow pillars, polished snow again there for the block, and a chiseled snow along with the 2 vertical slabs and vertical slab steps as well. So don't build this in a desert. I mean, I know I'm currently over a desert, but that will make it melt. Although it won't really, because it's packed ice. But you know what I'm saying. Don't build this in a hot biome. It'll look weird. But next up, we've then got, I don't want to miss anything on this side, we've got a few nether bricks that are added. So we've got nether brick pillars along with a vertical slab and vertical step variant. And then the same for chiseled red nether bricks and red nether brick vertical slabs and steps. And then we've got mixed nether bricks, so a combination of the 2, which I really like. I think this is cool, which also has a slab, a full block, a vertical slab, and a step slab as well. And just to put that 1000 number into context, after just that little bit that we've done so far, that's over 100 blocks added to RealismCraft 2.0. My last count was like 111 or 112. I may have miscounted or not counted one, but yeah, a lot of blocks already, and we haven't even got going yet. So let's carry on. Next up then, we've then got the end slabs, or end stone family actually. So this is a polished end stone slab to mix in with end stone tiles. We get end stone bricks, a pillar, tiles, we get a polished end stone, chiseled end stone, and chiseled egg end stone as well. So if you want a little change up on the design, there we go. And they come with 3 vertical slabs and vertical steps as well. Then we've got over here, which we didn't look at, we've got dripstone family gets an extension as well. So much choice here really. We've got polished dripstone slabs, dripstone tile slabs, and dripstone brick slabs. Then we've got dripstone bricks, dripstone pillar, dripstone tiles, and chiseled dripstone, along with 3 vertical slabs and vertical steps as well. So it seems to be some families get 2, some families get 4, some families get 1, and some families get 3. So no set number here really. Next up after that, we've then got over here, deep slate gets an extension with a deep slate pillar. No slabs here, but I suppose they're already represented maybe. And then we've got 4 vertical slab and vertical steps here too. And then over here, we've got quartz getting an extension as well with 1 quartz tile slab. We get a chiseled quartz block. We get a quartz tiles block. And then we get 3 vertical slabs and vertical steps. Crazy, man. How did I even think of all of this? Different families being extended. I don't know, like, it's so much selection in a survival world, I would be spoilt for choice. And I can already say that my brain already feels like, what would I build? What would I build? What would I build? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. So if we come over here, next up, we get the tough family gets an extension. So we get tough brick slabs, tough tile slabs. We get tough bricks, chiseled tough bricks, tough pillars, and tough tiles, along with 4 vertical slabs and steps. Over here, prismarine gets a bit of fun here too. So polished prismarine slab, along with prismarine tiles, prismarine pillar, prismarine tiles, polished prismarine, chiseled prismarine, 3 prismarine vertical slabs and steps, and then prismarine also, hang on, what's going on here? Prismarine brick, sorry. These are all prismarine brick. Well, hang on. No, there's a bit of a weird one going on here, in fact, because some of them are prismarine brick, some of them are prismarine, and then we've got the changing color type here. That's what threw me. They were a changing color type. I thought they were a different color, but no, these are just prismarine. So it's 4 vertical slabs and 4 vertical steps, with one of them, this one, the prismarine vertical slab and vertical step, having that color change going. That was me getting very, very confused in the middle of a clip. That was cool. Okay, next up, over here, there's a lot going on here. Where does this even start? I laid all of these out and I'm confused. Diorite. So diorite gets a massive glow up here. So let's just see what's going on. Is this diorite as well? No, this is calcite. Again, even more confused. That's 2 families in a row now that I've been confused for. So calcite and diorite. Why did I put them so close together? Let's have a look. So diorite gets diorite bricks, diorite tiles. They're in the slabs. And then we get diorite bricks, diorite pillar, diorite tiles, and chiseled diorite, with 4 vertical slabs and steps. And then the cousin to diorite, calcite, gets an extension with calcite slabs, polished calcite slabs, calcite brick slabs, and calcite tile slabs, leading into the calcite bricks, pillar, tiles, polished calcite, and chiseled calcite blocks. And then again with the 4 verticals here as well. Super cool. Next up then, as we're slowly coming to the end of the new family extensions, we've got andesite getting a bit of a glow up with pretty much the same ones. So we've got andesite bricks and andesite tile slabs. Then we've got andesite bricks, pillar, tiles, and chiseled blocks with the 4 vertical slabs and steps. And then granite or granite. How do you pronounce it? Because me and my mate, we were having a discussion about this the other day. Is it granite or is it granite? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments somehow. But we get granite tiles and granite brick slabs. We get granite brick blocks along with pillar, tiles, and chiseled blocks as well. And then the vertical slabs and steps too. Now, one thing I want to check here real quick is if I grab this one, in fact, what happens if I try to mix it? No. Okay, so the corner piece does not mix if it's not the same piece. That's interesting to know. That just popped into my head then to try and find that one out. What if I go here? No. So you get that corner piece only if it's part of the same family. I don't know if I like that. I think I actually would have preferred it if they did react to each other, because some people like to connect and mission mash them up, and so I would have liked it if they did, but I don't know if that's even possible. But RealismCraft seems to be all about pushing the realms of what's possible, in all honesty. And of course, we have to extend stone and cobblestone, so they do also get the vertical slabs and steps here, along with a stone pillar and stone tiles. So we get the standard stone vertical slab and step, we get a smooth stone vertical slab and step, cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, stone tiles, and stone brick as well. So really every single element seems to be covered here. And then over here as well, we also get polished dirt slabs, dirt brick slabs. We get dirt bricks, dirt pillars, polished dirt, and chiseled dirt, along with polished dirt vertical slabs and dirt bricks vertical slabs. This probably needs to go in. What have I done here? I've messed something up here. Get rid of that, thank you, and then place that down there, because I'm all about my OCD, if you don't mind. And then also we get a dirt path on here too, which may not be a new block, but I just placed it down anyway, just in case. You never know. We'll see how that goes. And so in terms of families getting that extension and just addition of vertical slabs and steps, there are two other ones that deserve to be called out here. And they are, if I grab this, they're going to be called the clinker family to begin with. So we've got the clinker brick, which is here, and that can give you the polished clinker bricks slab and the clinker brick slabs, along with clinker bricks block with pillar, polished and chiseled. And then you've got the polished clinker bricks vertical slab. Try saying that 5 times. Along with clinker bricks vertical slab and corresponding steps here as well. And then secondly, we get a new, I want to say ore, with salt. Now here we've got salt in general, which can also become salt crystals. And we get salt ore in the game. And we can then make polished salt slabs, salt brick slabs, and cut salt slabs, along with salt bricks, salt pillar, polished salt, cut salt, and chiseled salt. And then we've got the walls, the vertical slabs and steps here too. Am I ever going to stop calling them walls? I don't think so. I think they're always going to be walls for me. And so once we're finished looking at all of the new block families and extended block families that we get, there is a new block type added, I guess is the best way to put this, and it's the decorative tile. Now the decorative tile comes in practically every color in the game. So you've got pink, magenta, you've got purple, you've got blue, you've got light blue, which has elements of white on there as well. You've got cyan, which is quite sleek and cool. You've got lime, we've got yellow, orange, red. We've also got brown, black, grey, light grey, and white. In fact, do we not have green? Is that seriously something? Have I missed that? Can I really claim that we have 1,000 blocks if I have not placed down the green? There is a green decorative tile that I did not place down. Why would I do this? Am I supposed to be professional? I don't even know. How can we not do this? Let me just fix this. You guys get to see this in real time. This is not an error. We're going to place this one here. We're going to place this one here. We're going to then place this one here and this one here. And then lastly, we're going to go and find the one other block that I missed. That one there and that one there. Boom. Don't tell anyone I made that error, okay? So they're the decorative tiles in every color that is in Minecraft. And they also have a corresponding vertical slab, half slab, and step. I know you're in complete shock because you didn't see me just place that down, right? So that's super cool to see these items, these blocks added in as well. I really like the designs. They feel a little bit prismarine in design. They are quite glaring. They're definitely going to stand out. I don't know if you're going to be able to build in these in a nice way, but you can probably use them to like accentuate certain things and builds. So I think that's cool. I do like this design though. For some reason, this one stands out to me as being really cool. So those are here. And then we've got roof pieces, and these come in 3 different sections. So we get pink roof tile slabs. So we get roof tile slabs, we get roof tile slants, and we get roof tile blocks. And as you can see here, they do pretty much combine. If we grab one of each, we'll put this one here, and this one here. If that's how you want to build your roof, you're more than welcome to. They are there and they connect well together. And these again are also in every color in the game. You can see I actually put green there correctly, so that definitely isn't an error here. But they're on there, cool. And it's like I said before, it's just a massive amount of selection and choice. Every corner seems to be covered. So for a little section, we can step away from some of the fuller blocks and we can have a look at a few of the fences and kind of gating style blocks that are added in. So let's start over here then. We've got the copper fence. And now again, these I'm going to show you the waxed versions. There are unwaxed versions, but I didn't want them to age. So we've got, like I said, the copper fence, the exposed copper fence, the weathered copper fence, the oxidized copper fence, and then for some reason I decided to put 2, not sure why, fair dues. We've then got a golden fence, an iron fence, and a netherite fence. So they're quite nice. They are a little bit on the thin side for me. I prefer the more 3D style elements than these. I think these feel a little bit weird in the rest of the pack, if I'm being honest. And then we've also got what's called that stone. We've got picket fences available in pretty much every wood type here, and as you can see, they do not connect to each other. So even though they are of the same type of block, they are a different family, so they don't connect onto each other, which is a shame. Again, I would have preferred it if they did, but I don't know what the limitations are, and they're in every wood type. And then behind those, you'll see we've got what's called a palisade or palisade. I'm not posh. I don't know. We just got brick walls where I live. But I'm going to call it a palisade. So sorry if that's wrong. But we've got palisades here, which you can see will connect onto each other and make a design. And again, these are also available in all of the wood types that are in RealismCraft here. And then if we come on over here, we've then got balustrades or balustrades. I think these are called balustrades, but no idea again. This one is a stone balustrade, and as we place them down, you've got that kind of mixing different style of design, which is quite cool. But here again, they do not connect to each other. So we've got stone, we've got granite, we've got diorite, andesite, sandstone, red sandstone, dark sandstone, dripstone, quartz, limestone, prismarine. This one is blackstone, deep slate, tuff. This one is calcite. This one is never balustrade. So the vanilla families and a few of the newer families that were added, each getting a balustrade here. And then lastly for this section, we've got railings in the wood types as well. So we've got oak railings, which are these two thicker, squarer, rectangular style, again very flat. We've then got spruce, which has the free type railing. We've got birch, which goes back to 2 but a different style. We've got jungle, we've got acacia, we've got dark oak, we've got mangrove, cherry, pale oak, bamboo, crimson, and then warped. And now this is a question I want to ask you guys. So normally when I do the glass display on texture packs, when they have a different design for every block, I don't like it, because I'm always like, well, what if I like this design but in this color? I'm getting the same impression here. And so it's kind of like, what if I liked this design but I wanted to use it in dark oak, or vice versa even? So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you prefer? Do you prefer it when there's one style of design across multiple families, or do you prefer each family having its own design? I don't think there's a wrong answer here, but I'd be interested to see what you guys are all thinking. So let me know down in the comments. I'm going to steal a piece of content from the item section of this video, because I'm going to introduce a new type of something for this dynamic world, and it's called Viridium. So we have Viridium included here, and this is a craftable material. We also get Viridium shards, and as a combination of this, we then have end slate Viridium ore and end rock Viridium ore. So for the geniuses out there, this is an end based ore type and ore material, and from that we can also make then a block of Viridium shards and a block of Viridium, and we also have a Viridium crate, but we're going to get to those shortly. Now, for a little bit more information on Viridium and how it spawns in the end, make sure you check out the end dimension video that I would have posted at the same time as this video, and I'll link to it down in the description. But we're going to carry on with the blocks that are added in this world, and the next one that we get are the crate blocks. Now here, these are available in every single wood type as well as in Viridium that we've seen already, and when you place this down, they have a nice little feature. So it pops up to say that this one is empty because we're placing it down. I'm going to just go and grab something. I don't know, let's grab 64 cherry planks. Let's put the world into survival here as well, because when we're interacting it's a bit easier. And if I try to place something here, I place all of my stack into the crate and a lid comes on it. And if I want to get something out of this crate, I interact once and I get one back. Now, is there a way to get all of them back? Yes. If you crouch down, we'll do that again. I'll place them all in. If I crouch down and then interact on the crate, I get all 64 back. But if I just interact on it here, I put all 64 in, and if I interact standing up, I get 1 back. Now, I have to have nothing in my nothing in my hand, sorry, when I'm interacting to do that. But what happens if I crouch and try to place something in? Nothing. You can't place them in one at a time. It takes your whole stack here, and a little lid goes on top, which I think is super cool as well. So that's available there. And in fact, can we then check? Let's grab, I don't know, let's grab something completely irrelevant. Let's grab spruce trapdoors. Can I place the trapdoors in here as well? No, the crate already contains a different item type. So what if then, can I place more cherry planks in here? Let's go into survival again to do this correctly. Yes, you can get over 64 added to the crate. You can't see the inventory, so you can't see what's in there. I wonder if there's a limit then on how many you can put in. Let's go and grab, let's do that, hit that. Let's go, I'm getting a bit confused by my buttons. There we go, we're going to grab quite a few of these. Go back into survival. 192, 256, 320, 384, 448. This seems to never stop. What about if we grab a few more? Let's go. Da 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 da. There we go. We'll grab that. Loads of those. Grab loads of those. And then grab loads of those and those. So now what happens? Is it like a never-ending pile of storage? Is it basically a TARDIS? It's adding up quite well. Keeps going. Goes into the thousands. 1024. And then 1026. Now, I don't know what the limit is there, but I'm not going to sit here and try and find it because this is already a long video. But yeah, the crate is like a holder for one type of item, seamlessly a massive crate as well. And you can get them in all of the different wood types here. So another block added to RealismCraft 2.0 that has some functionality as well is the fishing net. And we're going to actually delve away from our little floating platform right now. We're going to see this in action. So when we place this down, it can be placed down like here anywhere as you like. You can't place it directly on the water, but if there's a block underneath, it will place similar to how this has here as well. And it's got functionality to it. So you can't lift it. It's not a trapdoor or anything like that. But if you wanted to, you could place it down on the side. Now, imagine that was a little bit nearer and you wanted to block off a little bit of a river or something. You could just place them side by side like so, build them out, and just wait and see what happens while you are fishing. It's an easier way to fish passively, potentially. I want to get rid of this just in case this is doing something to my demonstration. And here, and then all you have to do is just wait and wait and wait, and slowly the fish should start to arrive on your fishing nets. I'm talking slower because I wanted that to be a super cool clip where I talk about it while it does it, but it doesn't seem to want to at the moment. And there we go, you see, so that took about 20 seconds for that to happen, but fish gets caught in the net and it appears here. You interact with it and then you get your fish, and we just caught a raw cod. So that's quite cool. And then another one's done it there as well. So it is quite an effective way to fish if you want to. I like it. And continuing again with even more utility blocks, we've got what's called a scrapper block. And now this block is quite cool. I like it. So you can actually recycle your items into XP. Now, if you have a load, you can interact with it. You get a nice little animation on the top. And this little charge button here will build up. And the amount of XP that you get per item is dependent on the rarity. So the more rarer the item, the more XP you get. But as you can see, it does build up. And also, because it's dependent on the rarity, it does mean that this is actually compatible with other add-ons as well. So if they've done their rarity correctly, it will scale with it, which I think is quite cool. Always good to have options. But once you hit the top here, it will spit out a ton of XP for you. And if I wasn't in creative, it would have shown us how much XP that gave. But a nice use for a ton of blocks that you may not want to use anymore, basically. I do want to check, is it hopperable? Which I always think is quite a nice thing to check. So if we go here, I know I'm in creative, but we'll see anyway. We'll place this down on the top. What happens if I do this? No, so it's not hopperable, so you can't automatically get it, which does kind of make sense. Okay, something happened there. Oh, you can just stand on top and drop it. You don't even need to worry about interacting it. So you can interact with your L2 or whatever button you push on PC, or stand on top or just above and throw them down and it'll eat them and mulch them. That's cool. I like that. Okay. I want to see that explosion of stuff again. There we go. And there's the XP that just pops out. Very, very cool. Next up then, we have a block called the redstone fan. Now this, as you can tell, is powerable by redstone and will generate a wave of air. So if I turn this on using a lever and one bit of redstone, we get the fan, which looks super cool for the flags that I haven't told you about yet. And we can step in front of it and it will blow us along. Nice and easy. Thank you very much. Promise you that's not me walking. Or we could go over here and we could throw an item in front of it and watch it get blown along there too, adding for some extra elements there of gameplay variety, I guess. Some changes to farms maybe. And then lastly for this little section, we've got a redstone drill, which again is powerable. So we'll turn that on and you see the drill gets animated. And if I place down a block here, it will break the block for us, which is cool. And now that one's obviously a type of wood. What happens if we get a type of stone somewhere down here? Could be easier if it would find it. There we go. So let's grab andesite bricks. Why not? Grab that for me, place that down, and almost instantly breaks it as well. Not even taking long, which then begs the question, what happens with obsidian? So obsidian, thank you, we'll grab that. We'll even grab some crying ones, why not? So obsidian practically breaks it instantly. Take one of these into the nether with you and you get the block as well. That's super cool. I like that. Maybe a little bit OP if we're being honest, but I like that. So as you guys can tell, like I did when I first saw RealismCraft, I'm very much enjoying how much content is added into this dynamic world, into this creation, and how it changes Minecraft. I think this is quite awesome. I do think there are some negatives to certain things. Like I said, the drill is slightly OP and whatnot, but I think the positives far outweigh the negatives, and we aren't even anywhere near being finished this video. I got to be honest with you. So if you're tired of my voice, I'm sorry, but I'm really enjoying looking at this. So we've got a ton of furniture that is added in here, and I'll show you the little one here on this family here, and then we'll just glance over the rest because they are just reskinned. So we've got a thing here called the oak planter, and what I want to do here is just have a look with some seeds. Are they as simple as just place the seeds in and let it grow? No, they're not. Okay, so what if we was to grab a hoe? How does that work? Let's grab a stone hoe. We're not flexing here. No, that doesn't seem to want to do it either. Okay. How's this going then? Is it for flowers? 1 second. Let's go for the only flower that matters. Thank you. Lily of the Valley. Ah. So it's not a grower. We're not talking farming pots here. We're literally talking flower pots. Okay. And a super cool thing for this as well that I remember noticing. We go here. We can place this on there and it goes into like a little half thing. We can't do the little join step that we've got there, but we could easily make this into like a windowsill style block face here, which is quite cool. I wonder if there's any other functionality that I'm missing here. I'm not sure, but I do think it's quite cool how this can just change. So some add-ons or some vanilla elements would make it just remain a full block, sticking out miles. I like that this changes depending on what it's on, so I'm very happy with that. Now, how does it look if we put this in here? Yeah, okay, that's cool. If you click it again, no, it doesn't change depending on how many times you click it. So you can make a nice little design going on here. In fact, let's get rid of that one. Let's place this one here. Go a little bit crazy with it. You know what I mean? You can't place it underneath, so that's cool. Can't place it underneath. But that's like that's a nice little design going on. I wish you could kind of place it here as like a half block. But hey, what can you do? Although, sorry, I'm just testing things now. I know you guys want to see the rest of the stuff, but I just want to see this oak step. What happens then if I place that? Can't do that there because it's a opposite block. What if I place it? No. Oh, okay, so I wanted to see if you could place it underneath and just block this, so you won't be able to apparently. That's a shame, but I suppose, again, restrictions of the world. I think that's a nice flower design though. That's kind of cool. Okay, anyway, so carry on. So we've got the oak planter. like I said. We've also got an oak closet, which you can't interact with, so it's not an actual storage piece, it's just a piece. We've got this here, which you can sit in, get your nice little seated animation or seated model there, and that's an oak stool. We've got an oak short table, which if I clear that just to see, can we do anything with? No. We've got an oak chair, which again, if I clear that, we can sit in. You guys would have seen me sat with a sentinel if you check out the community posts with my mate over there. But yeah, nice. Interact with the chair to sit in it, jump out to get out of it. We then have the oak cabinet, which again, not interactable. You can't go into the drawers or anything. It's not an actual storage piece, but it is a nice design piece. And then you've got the oak table. And this is just kind of, I was going to say copied across, but it's, you know, it's the same for every wood type, shall we say. I don't want to make it sound like it's bad, but it is there for every wood type, including the nether types. And then in the background, the keen-eyed amongst you would have seen that there is a armchair in every color in Minecraft. So matching wall colors here. We've got the armchairs. Let's throw that over there. Let's sit down in this. And yeah, look, just kick back, relax. Oh, look how comfy I look. Don't I look so comfy right there? I think this is such a cool thing to do. Sitting in stuff in Minecraft when it's done right, it's so good. I don't know why, it just tickles the right areas, to be fair. And then also we've got curtains. Now, this is the one curtain piece. You can see here, you can hang it and it will be a half block. Or if you place one underneath, it extends to be a double block, which is good. If you grab a second color, it doesn't make it a mix. It does just remain half and half. So just bear that in mind. But some curtains added to the world that you can make varying sizes. I do wonder, can you make it free? Is it like extendable? It is. It is extendable. It's not just 2 blocks. Get rid of that. I mean, that's a 4 high curtain right there. How big are your windows? And again, no, it's like endlessly extendable. Okay, and it fixes along there too. That's cool. And these are available in every wall color as well, which is cool too, I think, which is quite good. And none of these seem to be entities, which is another awesome thing as well. Interactable, but not entities. I mean, RealismCraft is probably a lag machine on certain devices already. So any way they can cut corners, or not cut corners, but cut that lag out, I guess, is going to be a great thing. Next up then, over here, we've got more decorational pieces. So we've got what is called a candelabra. We've got one in iron, one in gold, one in netherite, and then we've got one in every copper piece, waxed and unwaxed on there too. So that's good to see. And I believe they do actually give off light levels. I can't remember. Let me do that. And then let me go to midnight. So yeah, they are generating a light there, which is good. Let me break that. Does that affect light? I think it's affecting light. Let's just... Yes, it is. It is affecting light. Okay. I now don't have enough to put them back. So we'll just put back a few representatives. But yeah, that's good to know. What I want to do next is just set this back to daytime and then turn that back off. Thank you very much. Which is that one. Thank you. And then lastly, for this little area, we've got the antler mount as well, which just sits there on the wall looking super cool. I like it. I like it. Decorations, bringing life to the world. Very good. Another purely decorational section here that we've got. We can start off over here, but it is a straw block, I guess, on there to kind of mirror the hay bale really, as just like a filler block, I guess. And then we've got these over here. So we've got a cocoa bean sack, we've got cod baskets, we've got sugarcane bale, again to mirror the hay bale there, probably more so for the sugarcane block in fact. We've got sweet berry sacks, sugar sacks, salmon baskets, brown mushroom baskets, red mushroom baskets, apple baskets, carrot baskets, potato baskets, and beetroot baskets. Now, if we go into survival here, just want to check, like, can I actually get food out of these? Is this... I can't seem to take anything out of it. If I hit it, no, it just breaks it. Same over here for the mushroom. So it's not like you're storing actual food in here. These seem to be purely decorational. Which, okay, that's a shame, but okay, I guess, you know, that's just kind of how it is. Where's my creative menu? There we go. Thank you. And then one of the big features that is added in this are flags. So there are 2 different types of flags. I can show you from this end. We've got pink flags, or basically any color of flag in general. And then we've got the waypoint flag. Now, the waypoint flag is very good to be able to show you where things are off in the distance, and you don't necessarily need to use a map for it. So first of all, if you interact on it, you can, I believe, change. Okay, if you interact on it, do you have to be crouched? No, if you interact on it, there we go. I was messing up a little bit there, but if you interact on it, you can change the emblem that it's showing, so you can group it, and I'll show you more about that later. And then on the actual flags as well, you can do so with this too. These do start off plain, but you can then go through the same cycle of stuff. So flags and waypoint flags here, and how you use these involves using a compass. So if we grab this over here, what we're going to do is I'm going to go over there, far distance. That's what we want to do. I'm going to grab my waypoint flag, my pink waypoint flag. Did I say these are available in every color in Minecraft? I can't remember, but they are, as I run into a wall. And I want to place it behind something. So I'm going to place this here. Boom. Thank you. And we will choose, let's go for, we go for that one. There you go. So basically I've seen that spot. I want to mine there. I've made it a pickaxe. I'm going back to my base, going to have a little chill, relax, see how it's going. And then when I'm there, I want to remember, oh, where was that mining place again? Grab my compass. It pops up on the screen to tell me it's over there. It's 240-ish blocks away, and it's my mining point because I've added it to the mining emblem group. Very cool. Now the compass doesn't point towards it. The compass should still point towards spawn, I believe, which I think was over there for me. So it hasn't defaulted to just point at the area, because that would be a little bit annoying, because it's in my inventory. It's aiming me in that direction. So it's definitely not towards that. But yeah, very, very good. And you can see here as well where I've placed down tons of them. Now it only shows you the waypoint ones. Even though you can change the design here, they don't appear on here. This is more of like, just when you come across it, you can immediately see what it is. But if you want to know where it is from a distance, there they are. And if you have a load next to each other, they will show off a ton. And last but definitely not least, for the blocks, and I think these sit as blocks to be fair, there are tents added to the world. So they're just called tents. You can't interact with them, but if we go in, well, you can interact with them, but you can't pick them, sorry. If you go into the creative menu, we've got the tents here, available in all of the different colors, like so. And you can interact with them. You get inside, it closes, and I'm guessing that you go to sleep and you can exit out of it. Now, if we go into the do daylight cycle true and we set the world to nighttime, midnight, in fact, and we get in one, does it interact like a bed? Time seems to be sped up. Look how fast the night's going. It's not like a time skip in terms of sleeping, but time is definitely moving faster. We get to daytime, the sun is raised, and then I jump out and it's slow. So it speeds up the time getting into the tent. That's nice. That's actually, I've not seen that before. I think that's quite cool. And then as you see, all of the different colors. So what we're seeing a lot of is a lot of the same textures being used in different areas, which I'm normally very much against. I like to see uniqueness in a lot of block faces and block textures. But for something like this, where there's so much content, I think that becomes a secondary or even like a thirdly level point. There's a ton of different blocks in here, and hopefully I've been able to show them off to you and show off a few of the usages of them as well. Let's move on and have a look at the different weapons and armors that are introduced in RealismCraft 2.0. We're going to start with the armors in this section, and boy, let me tell you, we've got some awesome ones. So let's start with the beefy one from the brand new material in the end, Viridium. So we're going to grab all 4 pieces. Now, Viridium sits somewhere between diamond and netherite, okay? So slightly above diamond, just below netherite, but they have got their own special abilities. So we're going to go through, we're going to see as many of them as possible. Let's go into survival. We're going to place them on first. So it's 1.5 for the helmet. It's another 4 for the chest plate. It's 3 more for the leggings and then another 1.5 for the boots, which makes you look super cool and beefy like this, to be honest with you. Now, with the helmet, if I've got this correctly, the helmet, when you're hit by a projectile, it will teleport you out of the way. That's the special ability of the helmet. The leggings, when you use an ender pearl, the ender pearl will not break. It remains reusable and damage free. So those are cool. The boots, the special ability, well, let me show you, shall I? If I walk over to the edge and fall off, we get a void platform, and it's essentially what I want to call a void walker. It's like Frost Walker, but as you're going over the air, it will allow you to just carry on walking. If you stand still, the blocks will start to fall away, and then you will start to fall away. Just wait for it to go. If I stop moving, is it going to let me? There we go. And then you get it back again as we go through, and it will just keep catching us as we go. If I crouch, it seems to disable that though. So if you want to drop down, just crouch, you'll pop through and make it to where you want to go, which I think is an awesome little feature, because this is going to be an armor that you're going to wear in the end, and the void is bad enough as it is, so you don't want to be messing around with that. And then that just leaves the last type, which was the, I can't remember, was it the chest plate now? I believe it was. It was the chest plate, and the chest plate has a very special enchantment to it, which I've never seen before. So let's get down here. I took the boots off so that we could get down here. What I want to do is grab us a witch spawn egg, because she won't burn in the sun. So hello, how you doing, witch? And then I want to go into survival. So I've got the chest plate on now. I'm going to go over here. Are we going to trigger her? Is she going to try and fight us? Yes, so she's going to attack us here. Now, what happens with the chest plate is when you hit 1 hit point, you don't die. It actually starts taking the damage from your XP bar. As you see, we're ticking down. I was on 25, I'm now on 24. And that's going to continue all the way down to 0, meaning you stay on half a heart for so long, depending on how many XP levels you have, giving you time to get away, giving you time to keep on fighting. Now, when your XP hits 0, that is when you will die. So you do not have an infinite life here. You just have a long time to be able to get out of a fight. And this is an enchantment I've never seen before. I think this is super cool. And Viridian armor, along with all of the armor pieces I'm going to show you here, they can all be enchanted with the appropriate enchantments, whether by book or in the enchantment table. So I don't need to test that. They are enchantable, which is super cool. So the next armor set that we've got here, this is a bit more of a technical one. So they are made to be put together, and I'm not sure what the armor set is actually supposed to be called, but we've got jumping boots, sprinter leggings, magnet chest plate, and engineer helmet, and each one has a different piece of ability to it, I guess is the best way to put it. I need to be careful because I'm on half a heart, but the helmet, for instance, has the ability to give you a heads-up display. So in fact, I don't need to be in survival for this. We can go into creative. So what this does is if we head over here and we find, will it work with a crate? No, that just says empty, although that might actually be it working there, to be fair. What I want to find is a chest, actually. So let me go and get one of those, because this heads-up display gives us a few different bits of information. So if we have chest here, place that down. This, yeah, there we go. So because I'm wearing the helmet here, the, what's it called? The engineer helmet, we get a little pop-up here saying container filled 0%. And then if we was to start putting things in here, which is why it's a good thing I've got junk in my inventory, it now says container filled 0%. Now, I'm not sure what the percentage means, if it's basing it based on each block piece or each space being 64 and there's 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. That would basically be less than 1% if this was all 64, but I guess a few items should sit as 16, you know, the non-stackable items. I don't know, there's a few technical things around it, but this will show us what's going on in the chest without having to open it. If we pop over here, we can see the redstone dust. We get a redstone signal with 0. If we grab that witch spawn egg again as well, we should be able to see some health things from it. Let's grab this, place that down. And yet we see health 26 of 26 there too. So you get a ton of information from this helmet. And there's probably more information there that you get as well, not just what I've shown you. So that's quite nice and quite cool. And if we go into survival again, we're going to check the top here. So this helmet is giving us half an armor slot here. So not the strongest, not the most useful in an armor piece. Next up, we've got the magnet chest plate. And now the magnet chest plate, pretty much what you would expect. You throw down an item, the item will come to you. You get drops around, they will come to you. It just magnetizes things towards you. This is 2.5 armor slots here. If we grab the leggings are called sprinter leggings. And again, kind of does what it says on the tin. As you're running, you should start to get a boost. Yeah, you get a speed boost as you're running. The longer you run, you get that boost. So it's not instant, but after a while it does occur, which is quite nice. And that does an armor piece and a half. And then we've got the jumping boots. Now, unfortunately, I think I'm going to die here because I think there's a slight bug, which I've raised with the developers. But the jumping boots, in fact, if we do it here, if I'm holding down jump, I will progressively jump higher as we go. Now, it's supposed to go from 2 blocks to 4 blocks to 6 blocks. I can't quite get it to go 6 blocks. I'm just holding down the jump button now. If I'm spamming the jump button, it kind of just sticks there and then slowly gets a little bit more. Is it going to get a little bit more? I'm not sure, but I'm now spamming the jump button. I don't know if you can hear it, but if I hold it down, you see it a lot better. We get that springy animation in there to make us go up even more. So next up then we have the flippers, and now these are comparable to leather armor pieces here. If we go into survival really quickly, you'll see half an armor slot. They sit on your feet right here and they just make you faster when you're swimming. So if we drop down here and we go for a bit of a swim, you'll see, look, we are rapid right here. Look at that. Ain't no stopping me when we're swimming fast. Look at that. Kicking up the water behind us, very, very cool and very, very quickly. So that's nice and easy one there, just to make your swimming speed faster. And then the last one that we get is one that I really do like. I didn't quite understand it at first, but I've had a few people explain it to me, and I think it's a great option. So the miner helmet, if we put that on, it's a light on your head. And if we go into midnight view here, it does light us up, and it obviously gives us dynamic light as we're going. Now, my one question here, why I didn't like it at first, was I was kind of like, well, why do I need dynamic light? Because in RealismCraft, if you crouch and then interact with a torch, it goes into your offhand. And it's already dynamic light, right? So I was like, well, what do you need that for? And then it was very well explained to me that, well, when you're caving, you might need to hold a shield. And so you've got to choose between a shield and a torch. But you also want to be mining, so you're going to need a pickaxe. And that's where the miner's helmet comes in, because you can just go and get yourself a shield like so. You can have yourself your axe like so, or your pickaxe like so even. Put the shield in your offhand, and you are still lighting up the world as you're digging around. Now, in terms of weapons, there are 5 new sets of weapons that are added to RealismCraft, plus a few weapon / blocks of weapons that we're going to get to as well. Now, for the weapon sets, or the families of weapons, the Viridium tools all have a unique ability that they share, and that's any items or mob drops that are dropped by them, i.e. killing a mob with a Viridium weapon or mining a block with a Viridium tool. That item that they drop will immediately teleport into your inventory. I'm saying that now to get it out of the way, just in case I don't look or say it in the specific sections, but they also have a unique ability as well, so we'll get to that shortly. So we're going to start with scythes. Now, the scythes, if I grab this one here, they stand, you get them 2-handed in your hand here. There's one for every single type of material, so we've got stone, iron, gold, diamond, netherite, and then Viridium. The Viridium one here, the special ability of this is it has life steal. So when you hit a mob with this, you will regain hearts. Now, the scythes in general also have a special ability, and that involves crops and grass and basically any other type of vegetation or planting item. When you farm one of these, not by interacting, so for me that's L2, not by doing that, but by actually breaking with R2 or the attack button, it will do a 3x3 destruction of the area. So if I break the center one, everything around it in a 3x3 space will also be broken. Here you go. There we go, making it easier to farm nice and quick. We'll do it again over here. We'll grab this one here, for instance. Bang. And it just makes farming that much easier. And that is on every single scythe through the set. And like I say, Viridium has got life still. Now, I didn't say it, but the scythes are enchantable as well, so that's very good. And so are the next item, which is a dagger. And daggers, and it has to be plural here, because daggers are held in both hands. And as you can see, the animation is correct. Now, if you have an item already in your offhand, I believe they are still usable. So if we go into here, we're going to crouch, put that into the offhand, and then do that. Yes, they are still usable, but your offhand remains what you've chosen, and the dagger goes into your actual hand. Now, there is a caveat to this. The damage that the daggers do will be halved because you're only using one, but then if you free up your offhand, you can see here, they go into both hands again, and you get the normal damage. Now, daggers do have a special ability here, and we're going to just grab a nice one. Let's grab diamonds. They're always nice to hold, aren't they? Let's grab those. Thank you. So as we're doing this, if you interact while holding the daggers like so, you will get a speed boost and you will be able to dash forward, which is quite nice. So we'll do that again. Boom, we jump forward and we get speed boost. Let's go for the back view like so. Do it, jump forward, and then speed boost to run. And that is on every dagger, but like the scythes, the Viridium ones have their own little ability. So if you hold down interact with it, you will get an outline of where you're going to teleport. So I'm holding down interact, I'm picking where I want to teleport, I'm letting go, and now I've teleported. These Viridium tools, man, they are quite OP, but they are quite awesome as well, I have to say. They're very cool. And these also have got that ability of when a mob drops an item from killing with these, it will teleport into your inventory as well. So the next set of weapons that we've got, or maybe these sit as tools, but we're going to call them weapons anyway, are the mining hammers. And again, these are available in every material that we have. And we're going to grab the diamond one here because these can be used, again, not by interacting. So if I interact, it doesn't do anything. But if I just attack or try to mine, it will take out a 3x3 space. So this is a very simple, mostly commonly used hammer right here, where it will make a mine shaft for you nice and easy as you pop through. And unfortunately, the Viridium one doesn't seem to have a special ability here of its own. It just shares the ability that all Viridium tools have. And now the last new family of weapons that are added to RealismCraft is actually what I believe is the strongest level of weapons. It's the staffs. Now, as you can see, they're not being held correctly by the armor stand. I have raised that with the devs and hopefully that will be fixed. And to get these, you will need to craft the base staff first. Now, this is just a standard staff. It doesn't have any special abilities, but I guess you do empower it later. These staffs can be enchanted. So if we take this one, this is the flame staff right here. And if we try to put this in, I'm going to use a mending book. We can see it doesn't, not in that way, change them around that way, boom. It does enchant the staff with mending, and we can put that down there too. Now, this does have an ability. It will fire out fire as we go. And a special feature of this is it's not supposed to use your ability when doing an ability. It's supposed to use your XP bar, which, again, using XP in such a creative way, reinventing the game here basically, which is so cool. Now, I did notice that these do take durability in the copy that I have, so I'm going to raise that with the devs as well. Hopefully that'll be fixed or clarified one way or another, but I really hope it is the case that it doesn't take durability using the special ability and that it only takes the XP, because I think that's so very creative. So I'm not going to show you what each of the abilities are. I want you guys to experience them, but I will name them. So the first one was a flame staff. Then we have the destruction staff. We then have the summoner staff. We then have the lightning staff. We then have the ocean. And then the ender staff as well. And that's all of the staffs that are added in to RealismCraft 2.0. But the fun for the weapons doesn't stop there, because Viridium does get its own set of tools. So we've got the sword, the axe, the pickaxe, we've got the shovel and the hoe as well, as you would expect. And like I said earlier, these sit somewhere between diamond and netherite in the power scale, and they have that ability where when you have a drop from them, it will teleport into your inventory. So that is the Viridium tools right there. And if I grab the sword, we can just have a quick look at what kind of damage we're talking about here. Take that off there. The sword will do 7 attack damage. So quite nice there, to be honest with you. And I like that it's going to be a very end-based weapon set. And then lastly, we have these. These are called the climbing picks, and again, these sit in both hands. Now, unlike the daggers, if I'm not mistaken, if you have something in your offhand here, I don't think these work. Let's just check. I'm going to put that there and then grab that. Oh no, they sit there. Are they usable? I don't think they're usable, but then again, I may have been using that wrong. One second, let's interact. Oh no, they are. Oh, there we go. You see? Okay, that's what it is. Your whatever's in your offhand will either get placed or put aside to then use them correctly. But you can climb up, so that's nice. And there is a cool animation there too as we go there. So I used L2 to begin this, and then because I didn't step away from the wall properly, I can just go forward to do that, I believe. What happens if I just walk up to it? I'm a liar. You just walk up to it. You don't have to interact. There we go. And then to close out this section, we have got 3 weapon style blocks. Now, the first one is super easy. It's called spikes, and you can step on them and they will cause you damage as you step. So a nice defensive block there. One that will attack players and mobs as well. Another one that we have is a turret. You can load this with iron nuggets and gold nuggets, and it will fire them off against a mob within a 10 block radius. And then lastly, we have a cannon. Now, a cannon can be put on either a boat or on a hot air balloon, and you will use gunpowder to load it up, and it will fire cannonballs from that gunpowder. If you want to see that being used and don't want to see me die on spikes, then go and check out the transport video where we look at hot air balloons, boats, and a new transport block as well. But now let's go and have a look at the items that we get in this dynamic world. So the first item that I'm going to tell you about can also be a placeable block. So this is an inactive soul urn, and you can also get just a soul urn. So the item is a soul urn, and then when it's used, you have an inactive soul urn. And now this can be used to protect your weapons and your experience levels when you die. Well, not your weapons, but basically anything that you're holding and your experience levels when you die. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. We're going to find a place that we can just land and drop, right? So, in fact, let me show you guys first of all, before I'm falling. If we go into survival, you can see I have 17 levels and I have a whole host of stuff on me here that I wouldn't want to lose. I also have, oh no, I thought I had a helmet on, but I don't. That's good. Okay, go into creative. We're going to pop over here. We're going to go to where we're going to definitely die when we fall, and we're going to hit survival. See you later. And the urn gets placed on the floor where we died. Now, there doesn't seem to be any indicator of where that is, so you will have to remember where you was when you died. So where we died, a soul urn has been placed. Now, if we go back into survival again, you'll see I have no experience points. If I interact with this, I get everything back. All of my experience points and all of the items that were dropped as well. And then with a pickaxe, which I of course do not have on me, you can mine this and get this back as the inactive soul urn as well. Now bear in mind, this is made from obsidian and a wither bone, I believe it was. So it's not going to be easy to bring back. So with a diamond pickaxe, it's basically like mining stone, right? Mining obsidian, sorry, if I could talk correctly. I was thinking of something else as I did that. What I was thinking of was if you place that down as a block and you don't want to sit here and mine that for ages. What happens if you go into creative and you go to drill? So we're going to grab a drill like that, and then we're going to grab a lever like so, and then we're going to grab lastly a redstone. Any idea I had of this video being short, way out the window, but I don't mind. So we're going to pop that there. We're going to grab that, and we're going to grab that. Now I want to place this down. Where do I place it? Like that? Yeah, there we go. Place that back into survival. Oh, the drill does mine obsidian instantly. Okay, cool. That was worth the test then. Fair enough. Thank you very much. So yeah, that was the soul urn, which will give you the ability to save your experience points and your weapons when you die, and then becomes a decorative block. And then the more traditional items that get added in RealismCraft 2.0 are as such. So with a lot of the new mobs comes a lot of new mob drops. We get raw venison and cooked venison along with antlers. We get a penguin egg and we get an ostrich egg. We get something called a blight ring. We get a spore clump, and we also get power powder. And then we have a load of amplified potions. So these come in all three versions of potions. We've got amplified potion of leaping, amplified potion of swiftness. We've got one of poison, one of slowness, one of regeneration, one of turtle master, and then an amplified potion of strength as well. And these are available in splash potion as well as lingering potion. So that's the majority of the items. And then one more that we get as well is called a rope. Nice and simple. This can be placed down like a block as well, and should be somewhat climbable. So I've not actually tested this yet. If we go here, there we go. I'm climbing it. You see it? And we get the animation there as well to just climb as we go. Now these can be placed. It's probably best to do it in creative. What we can do is we're going to go here. We're going to just place up a ton like so we can get a real effect of this. We're going to come away from the wall so you know I'm not holding on to any walls. And then we're going to place down a rope. And now one rope can build off of each other, very much like iron bars on here. I'm going to place these all the way down. And these make traveling easier in certain situations. Maybe makes a tree house a little bit more fun to have as well if you want one. But we're going to place these all the way down here. Now this should be enough to give the effect that I want to give. So we'll place this here. We're going to go back into survival. We're going to come into this area. Gonna just sit there and climb. You jump to attach, and then you climb, and then when you let go of climb, you automatically go down. You also seem to be given some form of an effect. I'm not sure what that one is. It's not sitting there enough. Is it levitation maybe? But it disappears too quick for me to see it. RealismCraft 2.0 also introduces gliders to the mix, but we're not going to be looking at those in this video. We're going to look at them in the transport video with the hot air balloons, the boats, and the transport block that teleports you. So go and check out that video if you want to check that. Link down in the description. But it also introduces a backpack. So if we grab this one, for instance, we can place it down on the ground like so. We can then interact with it to put things in it. So it's basically a movable chest. And if we crouch and interact with it, it goes on our back like so. Look at that. We got a nice pink backpack to run around with, moving our inventory along with us, giving us a lot more space. And it sits in the chest plate spot. If you sneak interact with an empty hand, you can open it. So we're going to sneak and interact. No, we're not, apparently. Hang on. No, it doesn't let me do that. Hang on. Sneak interact with an empty hand. That's what I'm trying to do. Sneak and interact. I can't seem to take it off. Okay. Not sure what I'm doing wrong there. I can't pick it up. Okay. Like I said, this is early access, right? So, you know, there could be some bugs. I'll raise that with the developer. So it looks like we're carrying on this video with a backpack on our back. Now, again, it is early access, so hopefully this will all be ironed out. I'm reserving judgment on the bugs until I see the final piece. But yeah, I will raise everything that I've shown here with the devs, along with a few other bugs that I may find going through this series. But we're going to look at the mobs now, and they can be pretty much split into 4 different sections. We've got companions, we've got hostile mobs, we've got traders, and we've got more natural mobs. So we're going to go through each of these. We're going to start with the companion. Now, I'm not going to look at the quarry golem. This currently isn't working for me, and there's no point me showing you that. So I'm going to raise that with the devs, and we'll see how that goes. And then also we've got the Ender Drake. Now, the Ender Drake does work. So let's get down here somewhere that we can put this. The Ender Drake is the baby Ender Dragon that you can ride on. So if we go here, I'm going to stay in creative for this, and we're going to go over here and place this down. And there is the Ender Drake. Now, I can interact with the Ender Drake to put a saddle on. So let's go and find ourselves a saddle. Now, normally I would be prepared. Oh, I suppose it's 50-50 really. If I'm ever prepared, let's grab the saddle. We're going to go there, put that on there, and then we're going to sit on. And we can run with. Apparently we can shoot. Which, yeah, we do. We shoot fireballs. Look, there we go. We're shooting Ender Dragon fireballs. Very nice. And then to fly, how are we flying? How are we flying? I'm holding down R2. Doesn't seem to want to do anything. Let's go here. Oh, he's flying. I mean, yeah, okay. He's pretty much flying wherever he wants. There we go. Flying however he wants to fly. But we have got an Ender Drake. So there we go. I need to learn how to fly the guy. But the Ender Drake is here. So that's cool. Very, very nice. And that's the companion one that I'm going to show you. Like I say, there is a quarry golem that is supposed to help you mine large areas out, and you use a quarry marker to show that off as well. But I couldn't get that to work. So this is the Drake. So the next set of mobs that we've got are the hostile mobs, and we're going to do this a bit separate. I'm going to introduce you to them. I'm going to tell you what they drop, and then we're going to spawn them in. So to begin with, we've got a blight. We've then got a Nordle, a snare plant, a shroom pool. We've then got an ore grub. We've got a creeper, but more specifically, this is a cave creeper, which is a variant of creeper that I'll show you. And then we've also got a dweller. So for the blight, when you kill a blight, it gives us a blight ring. When you kill a Nordle, it drops fish. I couldn't get a snare plant to drop anything, so I'm not sure what that drops. The shroom pool drops mushrooms, as well as this thing at the top here, which is a spore clump. The ore grub drops ores, and I could consistently make it drop lapis lazuli, gold, ore or raw gold, and coal. So that seems to be some of its better drops. We've got the cave creeper, which just drops gunpowder. And then we've got the dweller, which drops rotten flesh and bones. So if we head over here, we'll spawn them in. So we're going to get the blight first. The blight looking kind of like a space jellyfish there, how it spawns in, which is cool. And we'll do a couple to see if we get any variations. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't even look like the size there, to be honest with you. But I think in the end, that's going to be super cool. So we'll see that during the end video that I'm going to do. So again, links to that video down in the description if you want to see that. I think this video has been long enough so far. We've then got a Nordle, which when we spawn in, this is an ocean one. And as you can see, it does take damage. Not necessarily any sounds from the ocean one either there, to be honest, which is a shame. But fair dues. In fact, we can spawn him in here. I put the water there for a reason. There we go. Looking very, very violent. Okie dokie. Doesn't look like there's any variations on that guy either. We've then got a snare plant. Now, these are supposed to sit in wait for you. And I believe the color of this might change depending on biome, because I remember it being a bit more red. So yeah, there are variants. It's not biome specific. It's just variants. Okay. And then the idea is that you'd walk over it and it catches you in its snare. And then you have to try and get out of it, fight your way out of it until one of you dies, which I don't know how you do that because it doesn't want to die. So let me go. Whoa, we fell through the ground. Thank you very much. So that's the snare plant, which I couldn't get my way back up. Thank you. We've then got shroom pools, which we've got little ones with the red. We've got a medium one in the brown. We've got another little one in the brown. And okay, he just ate the little one to make himself bigger. Then we got another big one. Doesn't want to eat him. There's a big red one who's probably looking for a medium-sized one. Here we go. Look, look, look. Then he eats him to become him. Okay, so they eat the baby ones, but they don't seem to eat any of the others. Is he going to eat him? I don't know. Is he walking over the water mechanic? That is. Oh, he's looked at him. Hang on. Oh, he's been snared. He's snared in the plant. That's cool. No, he's not going to eat him. Okay. Just how crazy is that? Look, that guy eats that one to become this guy. That's kind of mad still. Okay. Then we've got ore grubs, which is this thing here, which will drop the ores when you kill it, and we get different colors of him. We've got the cave creeper, which we'll go to at the end. And then we've got the dweller, which is this scary looking guy. And apparently the dweller is supposed to hunt you in the cave. It is supposed to be an actual dweller, which is super, super creepy. I'm not looking forward to that. So I'm deep underground so I can show you guys the cave creeper, and it means I get to put on the miner helmet and use the dynamic light. And so for the cave creeper then, we can see over here, it's a variation of creeper which you would get from a standard creeper egg, and it always becomes this cave creeper looking guy with the lit up face and the kind of mossy body here, which is super cool. There is a bit of a pop-in animation. I don't know if that's because I'm on a realm or if that's because of early access, but yeah, when you're inside a cave, the game knows to give you the cave creeper. And when you're outside of a cave, i.e. back up on the surface, it should know to just give you a standard creeper. So we're going to go up and test that really quickly. We're over here. We're going to just pop back into creative. We're going to spawn an actual creeper. And then, yeah, we get the normal RealismCraft creepers, which I believe has a variation to it. Although these guys don't seem to want to be variants. Fair dues, maybe they don't have a variation. Not sure. But it knows to give you the standard creeper on the overworld. And the third group of mobs that we get here in RealismCraft 2.0 are the traders. So we get a wandering miner, we get a wandering scribe, we get a wandering hunter, and we get a wandering herbalist. Now each of these have specific spawning conditions. So like for instance, the miner spawns in overworld mines above deep slate level, for instance. The other three have specific biomes that they spawn in. 3 of them though will spawn up here on this platform, so I can show those straight away. So we get the miner right here, who looks like this guy, spawns with a llama as well, because what trader doesn't? We can interact with him and we can see he's selling some stuff for emeralds in here. We can get some rope, we can get some spikes, mine carts, some good stuff there. Not great, but good stuff. There's then a wandering scribe here, which we can then interact with as well. And he gives us books and flags, so that's cool, not bad. We've then got the herbalist, which will spawn in, and they kind of have that villager aesthetic to them as well, which is nice. Going to spawn that, and he gives us the more seeds and planty kind of stuff. Do we get variations on them? No, doesn't look like it. And the hunter doesn't seem to want to spawn here. Like you can see he tries, but he's very much married to his biome. So I'm going to head over to his biome. I'm going to take my helmet off as well, and then I'm going to go and see if we can find the hunter. So the hunter has spawned in here, and I think it's a case that he spawns in invisible when you use his egg, and then he takes a little while to come out back into like looking normal, but that's okay. We're here. So we've got the hunter now, and he spawned, or he trades with us, sorry, some animal drops, some spikes, you know, just hunter related stuff. And again, they've all got that villager aesthetic. He's kind of cool though. He's got like a scar on his eye, if he'll let me see it. Like the eye slightly deadened where he's been in a fight with animals. That's nice. That's some good creativity. All right, we're going to go and check out the natural mobs now that the hunter would probably hunt. And so lastly, for the mobs then, we've got the more natural ones. So we'll do the same again then. I'll introduce you and then tell you the drops, and then introduce you to how they look. So we get a shark, we get penguins, we get crocodiles, seagulls, jellyfish, lions, elephants, ostriches, we get deer, we get a bear, and we get a snail. And from what I was doing with some testing, the shark drops bones and fish. I couldn't get the penguin to drop anything. The crocodile drops fish and leather. The seagull drops feathers. The jellyfish drops slime balls. The lion drops bones. The elephant I couldn't get to drop anything. The ostrich drops feathers. The deer drops raw venison, the bear drops fish, and the snail drops slime balls. So let's get ourselves a shark to begin with. And now the cool thing about these is these do spawn in variations. So one shark completely ruins what I'm trying to say, but there we go. One shark can give you multiple different variations of sharks. I've seen hammerheads. I've seen tons of different ones, to be honest with you. They seem to be a little bit rarer today, but there we go. So tons of different sharks added in. There are some custom sounds to them. Bit weird that they would be for this one, but not for the hostile mob, but there are some custom sounds. Next up, we've got the penguin, which I can show you on here. The penguin is this little guy. We got a little happy feet dude, and we got the bigger guy there as well. So a little baby one and a normal one. Doesn't look like variations there. We've then got, I just want to see where I can grab him and then grab him. There we go. We've then got crocodiles on here, and these will give you variations in color. A few different ones on here. And we've got some custom sounds for these guys as well. We've then got seagulls. He dropped a feather on being alive. Okay, there we go. But yeah, we've got some seagulls here. And with some custom sounds. There's a jellyfish, which we'll put into here. Got a little pink one. Another pink one. There's a green one. Now they don't see... Oh, they seem to be dying in water for some reason. Okay. Do jellyfish not live in water? Does it have to be deep water? I don't know. Jellyfish seem to be... No, they seem to be dying. I'm not sure where jellyfish live, but they're dropping slimes. And then we've got lions. On here, these guys are majestic. We've got the male and we've got the female here. We've got elephants, who are huge, on here too. And again, just a couple more on there. Some baby ones spawning in. And then we've got an ostrich, which we're running out of space, so we'll do over here. Nice big ostrich guy. Couple variations in color. And then we've got deer, which some spawn with antlers, some don't. Some spawn in different colors. So we've got males, females, and variants. And then we've got a bear on here. Big grizzly. Got the black bear as well. Don't know if we've got any other ones. And then lastly, we've got the snail on here too, in different colors as well. So those are the hostile mobs. Those have been the items. Those have been the weapons, the armors, and the blocks. This video is probably about 4 hours long, so I'll try and edit it down to as much as I can. But hopefully you guys enjoyed taking a look at this stuff. And again, let me stress, this is an early access copy. I'm also playing on a Realm. I'm also playing on PS5 when I think this copy is supposed to be used on PC. So a few different things on my end. Could have made a few things not work, but I'm going to put my feedback to the devs as well, and hopefully they'll be able to take some of that on board or even correct me. And if I get a lot of corrections, I'll do another video correcting my mistakes. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think from this? Please do leave a like if you've enjoyed this. I hope you don't mind it being split up. I will also do a mega video of everything in one. If you just want to sit there, put it all on the background and have like 10 hours of footage, that would be cool. But that's up to you. Please let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Leave a like on the video, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Links to the other videos will be in the description as well. And hopefully we're going to have a great release on Tuesday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace.